All right, so we're back with Farmer Mark, and all of you had such great questions that we wanted to get back to the farm, and I wanted to give Farmer Mark a chance to answer some of those questions. And many of you had questions about the bees in the box. Tyson from over at Thalberg asked, how do you get the bees in the box and put them in the greenhouse? So I thought I'd ask Farmer Mark and give him a chance to tell us more about the bees in the box.
So Tyson, we don't actually put the bees in the box ourselves. We buy the box from one of our greenhouse distributors, and they come over there. I think they're coming from California for the bumblebees. So they actually ship them to us in the box. When the box gets here, we open up the box and let the bees out. So we don't actually put the bees in.
And the bees know enough to go back to that box after they come
do.
out?
So the bees actually will leave their hormone, their scent in the box, so they know where to return to every night. There's one right here.
There's one.
So they can actually, it's almost like they can smell where they live.
All right, so Farmer Mark, we had another question.
Sure.
From Amber at Strong, and some other students were wondering how many different vegetables do you grow here, because we saw so many different vegetables in one of the earlier videos.
Good question, Amber. So we grow approximately 60 different kinds of vegetables, of which there's 200 varieties. So we probably grow 12 different kinds of eggplant. We probably grow about 24 different kinds of tomatoes. There's all different, if it can be grown in Connecticut, we grow it at the leaf, if it's a vegetable. And some of the things we grow are considered fruits. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Anna from Thalberg had a question for Farmer Mark, asking, Farmer Mark, do you grow any fruit? Because if you do, you've only been showing us vegetables. And we had other questions about, well, what is the difference between a fruit and a vegetable?
Juliana. So that's a good question. On a vegetable, the seed is on the outside. It's produced on the outside. On a fruit, the seed is on the inside. So think about it. What is a tomato? Where are the seeds in a tomato? Are they in the inside or the outside? Mr. Duffy, do you know?
I would say they're on the inside.
So they're on the inside. That makes it a fruit. Where is the seeds on a carrot?
On a carrot,
I think we talked about it in one of the videos.
right, I think we see the seeds on the outside for a carrot.
Right, so the carrot produces a flower. The seeds form after the flower gets pollinated. So the seeds are on the outside. So on a vegetable, the seeds are on the outside. On a fruit, they're on the inside. What is a strawberry? The seeds are on the outside.
On the outside.
But it's not a vegetable, it's a berry. So there's some fruits and vegetables and some things that we eat that are not considered fruits or vegetables. They have their own classification. Like a potato.
Right.
A potato is a legume. It's not a fruit or a vegetable.
And in some, like the tomato, we call it a vegetable.
Yeah, we think it's a vegetable. Technically, it's a fruit. A squash. Oh, a summer squash. The seeds are on the inside. It's technically the fruit of the plant. So it's kind of funny. Fruits and vegetables. We can have the debate all day. What's a fruit and what's a vegetable? Vegetables on the inside, on the outside. Fruits on the inside. Seeds are on the inside.
So I think it matters more to me that they all taste good, and I'm not so concerned about what we call them.
Right. The moral of the story is eat your fruits and vegetables.
Here you go.
I'm recording.
All right. So Bryn from Daranowski had a question about how tall do the tomato plants grow, and other students had questions about how fast these vegetables and plants grow. So I thought maybe Farmer Mark could help us answer those questions.
All right. Another good question, Bryn. So these tomato plants, I'm 6 feet tall. So these tomato plants are almost 6.5 feet already. They are growing probably about 6 to 8 inches every week. So in the greenhouse, we have to come in and we have to clip this to hold it up because it's growing so fast it can't support itself. And the reason it's growing so fast is the daylight is getting longer and the days are getting warmer. So with more daylight and more heat, the tomato plant grows faster. That's why it's really hard to grow tomatoes in the wintertime. There's not enough daylight.
So Farmer Mark, I have tomato plants at my house that are only that tall.
Mhm.
Do you think I'll get tomatoes from them this
You
year?
will definitely get tomatoes this year.
All right, that's good to know.
We started these in February in the greenhouse. That's why they're so far along. If you look over here, we are actually getting ready to start picking a few tomatoes. Once a week we have to come in and we have to take care of these plants because they are growing so fast. This plant will end up about 12 feet tall when it's all done. So it's about halfway there, a little over halfway as big as it's going to be. And you can see all the tomatoes in there.
All right, so Farmer Mark, Sam from Flanders had a question about how do you keep bugs from eating the plants?
Good question, Sam. Hey, Sam, I went to Flanders School too. So what we do, or we try to do, is we try to grow some plants that will actually bring in the good bugs so they'll eat the bad bugs. So there's certain bugs out there that eat bugs, not plants. And the ones that eat the plants are the bugs we don't like. So we bring in good bugs to eat the bad bugs. There's different types. This is yarrow. You can see certain flowers will attract the good bugs. This is salvia. Over next to Mr. Duffy, strawberries will actually attract. There's certain types of strawberries that will attract good bugs. This one smells really good. This is called Monarda or bee balm. Your parents might even have that growing in their gardens by the house.
I have some of this at home.
So certain plants will attract the good bugs, which will get rid of the bad bugs. So that's one way we do it.
So, in another interesting question that I'm interested in too, Cameron from Kelly asked, do you like snakes?
Cameron, do you like snakes? Actually, I do like snakes. And the reason, Cameron, is that snakes usually eat bugs, or they'll eat small little animals like mice, and all those things bother my plants. They all want to eat my vegetables, all the mice, all the bugs. So snakes actually help me take care of some of those bad things, like the mice and the bugs. So I think snakes are actually good. I try not to bother them. I let them do their own thing. I just let them slither away. So we do have snakes on the farm. Every once in a while we'll see one. But snakes are good, so don't bother the snakes.
Yeah, snakes, people tend to be afraid of
Yeah,
snakes.
if you leave a snake alone, it's not going to bother you. You can just let it slither away.
Farmer Mark, we had a lot of questions about chickens. And in particular, Spencer from Flanders asked, why do we take eggs from chickens?
So, Spencer, if we left all the eggs in the coop and let the mom sit on them, they would all hatch. So a chicken lays roughly 260 eggs in a year. We would have so many chickens running around the farm, we wouldn't know what to do. We'd have chickens crossing the road to get to the other side. But really, we collect the eggs because people like to eat eggs, and eggs are healthy for you. This is actually Joe. He's a rooster. He doesn't lay eggs. Joe's kind of cool.
And do all the chickens have names?
No, only certain ones have names. Because we have over 30 chickens right now, we only named a few of them. Yep. Joe is actually a full-grown rooster. He's one of the smallest roosters in the world. He's called the Samara, and he only weighs about 13 ounces to 16 ounces. He weighs just about a pound. All right, he just told me the answer for chicken crossing the... Which came first, the chicken or the egg? You guys figure that one out yet? I know. Do you know, John?
I don't know. Joe didn't tell me.
Yeah, talk to Joe.
You wanna come up? Oh, now I know. Thanks, Joe. So, Farmer Mark, we had a question from Charlotte from Oceana School, who was wondering where Max and Molly were in our earlier video.
Hey, Charlotte. Well, Max and Molly, you know where they are. They're in their cage over here. I have a question for you, Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte. How do you know carrots are so healthy and good for you? Did you ever see a rabbit wearing glasses?
So I think these are the only two animals that we didn't show in the earlier video that live here at the farm. Is that right?
So, yes. And Max and Molly are husband and wife, and every year we let them have babies. Charlotte actually has one of our babies at her house. That's how she knew about Max and Molly.
Yeah.
Molly is approximately 5 years old now, I think. And she is a tricolored Rex rabbit. See how pretty she is. Stay there, Mom.
And Hannah from Hatton School asked you if you have any horses. And a lot of other students were wondering about horses or cows or pigs also at the farm.
So we don't have any horses, cows, or pigs, but something really cool this year is we're going to be babysitting for Voag's miniature donkey. Its name is Pumpkin, and 3 weeks ago, Pumpkin actually had a baby that they named Juniper. So Pumpkin and Juniper are going to live here through the summer, and then they'll go back to school when school starts at Voag. So for the summer, we will have a couple miniature donkeys.